Hi, I'm Lou Manfredini, and in this video, we're going to give you a beginner's guide to using a circular saw. In front, right here, you see a couple of circular saws. Now, I want to first establish the fact from a beginner standpoint, you've got a couple of choices when it comes to circular saws. An electric saw that you plug in, that has a cord, or you have a cordless saw. Now, many different manufacturers are available with all of this. And the other big issue when it comes to circular saws is the size of the blades. So this particular one is what they call a 7¼ inch blade. This is probably your most standard size. And when it comes to blades, there are different numbers of teeth. So you'll see here, this is a 7¼ inch blade, and it's what's called a 24 tooth. And the blade that's in this one here that you can tell has been used a little bit is an 18 tooth, meaning that that's the number of teeth that it has going around the blade. The finer the tooth count, meaning that the higher that number, okay, like a 24 tooth blade, that is going to give you a cleaner cut. And these go from, 16, 24, there's even 40. 24 like this is probably your best bet for a blade that'll give you clean cutting if you're cutting plywood and you want a really nice edge, or even if you're using it to cut 2x4s or 2x10s. The blade in what you get matters. Now I'm just going to move this to the side, and we're going to just talk and use this as an example to kind of give you that beginner's guide. This happens to be a DeWalt 20-volt battery, 6½ inch 18 tooth blade. So that is a little bit smaller blade. This right here that you see right now, the blade protector, when you go to cut, this stays down like this, but as you bring a piece of wood across it, this catches and then opens up. This is there for your protection. Never, ever, ever disable this safety device. Don't put a wedge in here to hold it open, because you run the risk of hurting yourself. This is the fence. So this is what runs along the material as you're cutting. And right here is an adjustment that if you open, on most saws it's at the back, you can set the depth depending on how deep of something you're cutting. So I'm going to remove this battery just to show you this. If I want to cut something that is a very thin material, like let's say plywood, I'm going to measure this distance from the blade to the fence, and I'm going to adjust that accordingly, and then I'm going to lock it in place. The idea behind that is that you have less of the blade at the bottom cutting it, and you get a cleaner cut and have more control. Now, if I'm cutting something like a 2x4 or a 2x10, I'm going to bring that all the way up and then lock it in place, and you'll see more of the blade is exposed. The other option you have here is you have the ability to take that fence and change it to an angle. So if you want to do some angle cutting, you can pivot this, so as you're cutting across, it actually takes the blade and turns it to the side, so you can have a 22-degree cut or a 45-degree cut, up to about a 45, which is the max that it will cut on. And it just gives you some versatility. Circular saws are designed for cross-cutting and rip cutting by hand. The thing to remember when you're cutting anything with a circular saw is the piece that you are cutting, the part that's going to be that you don't want, you want to make sure that that is not supported, because as you're cutting, if both ends are supported, you have run the risk of it kicking back on you, and you want to have a clean, sharp blade and let the saw do all the work. Coming up next, our video on reciprocating saw versus circular saws.